will never get satisfied in adult relationships unless we
Mm.
manage to position ourselves in an adult state. This is really important, I would say, because
Right.
many people are trapped up in the unmet needs of they had as children, expecting the adult relationships now to give them what they didn't have then, and this is not going to happen. In a way, it's a post-traumatic effect in which I don't accept what happened, and I'm in a way always hoping that's going to happen in a different way.
Mm.
Okay, so I think this is something that's really important for people to understand. For me to be able to, in a way, solve whatever unmet needs I had as a child, I
Mhm.
have to be able to connect with the adult state and relate with other adults in an adult way. Okay,
Mm.
while I'm from my unmet needs, adult relationships are going to be unsatisfactory. They can never have the level of unconditional love that the relationships we should have had with our parents. This level
Right.
is impossible, absolutely impossible. Okay, so this leads me to horizontal and vertical
Mm.
relationships, and we can think about this in very simple terms. Vertical relationship. This
Mhm.
has to do mainly with power,
Mm.
and people don't like to talk about power when you talk about intimate relationships. But power is
Right.
a central thing, whether we like it or not. So we call a vertical relationship a relationship when out of two people, one person has, we would say, nearly all the power, and the other person doesn't have any power.
Ah, yes. So you have a pen in your hand. Those of you who are just listening on the podcast, you have a pen
Yeah.
and you're pointing to the top of the pen as
Okay.
the pen is horizontal, and yes,
Exactly.
and the
Correct.
bottom. Yeah.
So if we think about just a vertical line, we can think about a top and a bottom, and this has to do with power. But power connects with responsibility,
Mm.
probably the capacity of taking decisions, the capacity of ending the relationship. The person who has the power has all this.
Mhm.
Probably has to take more care or protect more, etc. So we always say that the ideal or most healthy vertical relationship is the one between a baby, a newly born baby, and a caretaker. This
Mhm.
is a completely vertical relationship
Right.
where one of the parts has all the power and the other part has literally none.
Mm.
Okay, and it can be perfectly healthy
Yeah, that's
because
needed actually.
it's
Yes.
needed. Exactly. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
really interesting because sometimes if we have horizontal relationships too early in a child's life, this is going to create problems because the child is not prepared
Ah.
for that. But in a way, and to sort of make a long story short, we can say
Mhm.
that growing up has to do partly with this relationship that started being vertical. It starts becoming each time more and more horizontal. So start switching towards the
Mm.
horizontal, and probably maturing and growing up has to do with this, or this is a simple way of talking about that.
Mhm.
In opposition to vertical relationships, in horizontal relationships, and now we can think about a straight line
Right.
in a horizontal position, both the members of the relationship are on the same level. They have the same level of
Mm.
power. Both take care and are taken care of. So they have to have this capacity, the capacity of taking
Mhm.
care and of allowing the other person to take care of them. Both of them have the possibility of ending the relationship or not.
Mhm.
They have
So
the
two
same
equals.
point. They're working as equals. And this is the
Mm.
ideal relationship between adults, friends, couples, probably. This is
Mhm.
what we're looking for.
And it's time for a little pop quiz interruption. I'd like you please to guess what is the percentage of people who are watching the content on this channel who have not subscribed? Are you ready? 97.5% have not subscribed. What? This blew my mind. That means only 2.5% of you have subscribed. Please help me change that. This makes a drastic impact on my capacity to continue sharing this educational content at no cost to you. All you have to do is press that subscribe button. If you have, thank you so much. Please continue sharing it with anyone you think can benefit from this. Thank you so much.
In fact, there's a British sociologist, Anthony Giddens. He's got a beautiful book
Mhm.
about intimacy. And he says that the true intimacy is not possible unless we have a horizontal relationship.
Mm.
Okay, this is a very interesting idea because the true intimacy is when I open up to someone, taking the risk of that person
Mhm.
deciding not to open up, but that person then decides, having the complete possibility not to do so, to open up to me and really connect with me, and risk at the same time the other
Mhm.
person is also risking being rejected or whatever. And this is the true intimacy. Okay, so I think this idea is
Mm.
very interesting because you get someone that's an equal, and you're having a relationship with an equal. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have to have been able to do this transition. What happens? Horizontal relationships are going to actually activate all our fears in intimacy.
Mm.
Okay, fear of not being good enough, fear of not being corresponded, fear of being rejected, fear of
Mm.
being having made fun of, fear of someone being a traitor and doing something really horrible to us.
Yeah. Betrayal. And,
Because we don't have power, we don't have control, we are on a complete
mm.
equal level. Okay,
Mm.
so if my past history, and this has to do with traumas that we just defined,
Mm. Yeah.
has led me to have a higher level of fears and intimacy, for me it'll be impossible to have a horizontal relationship. It'll be too frightening. Okay, I'll start, and we said it's a sort of activation, and I'll start
Mhm.
feeling that I'm not loved, that I'm not good enough, that the other person is mocking me, making fun of me, that the other person is actually
Mm.
not in love, whatever my history has predisposed me, you can say, to think, is what will start
Mhm.
getting activated. So these people will find it so tough to be in horizontal relationships, but at the same time, they yet will have this strong need of intimacy. And
Mm.
how do I get close if I'm so afraid? So the only way is to unbalance the relationship and make it a
Mm.
bit more vertical instead of horizontal. In
Mhm.
that
So,
way,
so, so, so what was familiar in the past.
exactly. So I'll take it to
Yeah.
what is familiar in the past, and that's one of the reasons. But at the same time, I have more control now, and
Right.
this lessens my fear. And this may be actually becoming a dominant person, and treating
Mm.
badly the other person, and I have the sense of superiority, or exactly the opposite, becoming someone that's very frail and needs to be taken care of, or becoming a great
Mm.
caretaker, or whatever of these
Right.
strategies that all have in common that they are not horizontal, that they are vertical.
Mm.
But at the same time, as Anthony Giddens warned us, these
Mhm.
relationships are unsatisfactory for
Right.
everybody involved. So they become sort of a trap for relationship
Mm.
that's not satisfying my needs, that's not satisfying my childhood unmet needs that can't be met now unless
Yeah.
I, come up to this more adult stance. And at the same time, it creates this sort of addictive relationship. And this is what we see in most of
Mm.
dependency or, conflictive, toxic partnerships are these dynamics.
Mhm. Hello there, and thank you so much for stopping by this channel. I hope you find this content useful, and if you do, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It will really help me to reach to more people and keep this content going. Here we are journeying together, and let's see where this takes us.